Welcome to today's webcast on EDS by Simova. We will get a deeper dive into our EDS solution and see how to send XML standard invoice formats with our XSD module. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Max Krampe and I'm responsible for marketing, sales and partner management at Simova. And I'm with Simova for 2.5 years now already. And the live demonstration will be shown by my colleague Kerem. He is a sales consultant for over 3 years at Simova now. What are we going to see in our webcast today? We will have a brief look at XML standards in general. So what are these standards and what do we need them for? And right after that, we will come to the live demonstration. We will see how to send XML formats directly from the Business Central system. We will see from the perspective of a recipient how they get these e-invoices or in our case today also credit memos. We will have a look at the structure of an XML invoice and also dive into the dynamic configuration options of our XSD module in the Business Central interface. Let's have a look at the XML standards in general. XML standards are intended for the electronic invoice data exchange. And that comes with a standardized scheme. So the data inside these XML formats is standardized for the processing by an interface. This relieves the workload of professional through the automatic processing of these invoices or credit memos. And more and more companies use e-invoicing and also require their business partners to also provide invoices in an electronic way or have their business partners to process them as well. In our case today, we will have a look at the German standards, Zugfert and X-Invoice or X-Rechnung in Germany. But there are also other common standards for XML invoices like PEPAL for various countries. UBL is also used in various countries. We have the FactoryX in France, or for example, the specified UBL OHNL in the Netherlands. Let's have a look at the standard formats for today. We are on the one hand, we have the Zugfert format. In the Zugfert format, we have the PDF invoice, and we also have the Zugfert XML document. These two get merged together by our XSD solution. And in this case, the XML is embedded into the PDF file. So the PDF is the leading document for the Zugfert format. On the other side, for the X-Invoice or X-Rechnung, in this case today, we will see this for the other side, the credit memo side. We have the PDF credit memo and also the XML file. And in this case, the PDF gets embedded into the XML file. So for this format, the XML document is the leading and the PDF is embedded. That was a short insight into the XML standards in general, and I now want to give the word to my colleague Kerem for the live presentation.
Thank you, Max, and welcome to the live demo. We'll jump quickly to Business Central and see what EDS and the standard e-invoicing formats are. For those that don't know the standard processes of EDS, please watch our previous EDS webcast where we explain and show what benefits and processes you can achieve with ADS. In Business Central, you can dispatch directly from this Business Central any reports. You can also dispatch further documents, but today, as Max already said, we will dive in deeper and see what possibilities we have with e-invoicing, and also the credit memo that we will sales credit memo that we will see afterwards, how this can also be processed in this e-standard, e-format standard. We will just jump into our sales posted sales invoices, and therefore I'll see, right, don't have them here. And with EDS, you have many possibilities to define what type of document you want to send and in which type. So you can define, is it a standard PDF file that you want to send to this, for example, to this Adatum Corporation company? I can just go here on the right side on the screen where my EDS fact box is, and there I can just send my invoice with one click. Behind that, there is there are also a configuration also directly in Business Central where you can define your business partners and say to which company which type of document can be sent. I'll just make a quick switch to my Outlook where I've received, when I am the recipient, I'll just send them to myself for our demo purposes. But here is my my invoice that I just sent to the Adatum Corporation. And as you see, you have the benefit of not wasting time for writing any email body texts. And also with placeholders, you have the possibility where you can save more time when those specific information, for an example, the customer name or also the invoice number gets placed for you automatically without writing the email by yourself. Also printing the invoice. As you see, we want to have a nice and easy working process where you can just where you can just say that some processes can be processed automatically. When I just also preview now my invoice, it's a standard report from our demo environment, and there you can just choose any report you like. You don't have any possibility, you don't have any restrictions, limitations. You can just choose your report and can send them. All right, so let's switch back to our posted sales invoices, because this was just the standard way with just one clicking, so we get to know how EDS works again. For our webcast today, the e-invoicing is more and more present in our days. So for our customer, as it's Trey Research, I want to send an e-invoice. I also can send this with one click. I can also use more functionalities from EDS, and I want to send this with the dialog sending. Also here you have your email template. You can see on the right side your report that you want to send, your invoice in this example, but you also see the placeholders, the information, everything is pre-written, but you also have the possibility to just change your email without now going to Outlook, writing the email again, saving more time. So you can do this, everything fully integrated in Business Central. Now I can say, as discussed, please attached, find invoice. Find the invoice. I can also say here on the email attachments, you have also the possibility to see what type of document you want to send. And I see that there's my invoice. And for me, it's all right. I'll also make a quick switch to Outlook again, where I receive the invoice. In a few seconds, there it is. Also for Trey Research, we have our invoice, but now I will download it. I have this defined for this customer that I want to receive this invoice as an Zugpferd, or in German Zugpferd, e-invoice. Therefore, I will just open my invoice real quick. So there it is. All right. So sorry again, this my Adobe Reader is in German, but we receive also when we just open our invoice that we have a note. for every PDF file in EDS, we can also say that this PDF files can be sent with a better quality, with a higher standard, and that's the PDF A3 format. So you are able to send higher quality PDF files where the fonts, the pictures, everything from this report is pre-saved. So you don't have, or you can open them at any computer as you like. So the PDF itself is a modern type of the standard PDF file. And also for any reports that you have that you want to send with EDS. But for Zugwart, it's more importantly that with the PDF A3, you also have the possibility to attach attachments to this report or to this PDF file. Therefore, we have our XML file embedded, like Max already said, and that's the PDF is leading and the XML file is being behind that or embedded in this file. We can also download it real quick. And so I can show you the XML file. In a way that humans can't read. So also here you see you have different type of knots for the specific information that is or that are in this XML file, also in this scheme. So for credit memos, for an example, everything that you see here is also configurable in the Business Central directly. But that's a thing that we will see later on. So, like I said, this is something that I can't read. Maybe there are a few exceptions. Maybe a few people can read, but I will just use a freeware tool where I can also see my XML invoice with all the data in it. So as you see, we have fields that are directly recognized in this XML data where we can just quickly go through everything. We have the price of this invoice and everything. So we can clarify this document because with the e-invoice, it's of course important that this type of information gets processed electronically from a interface that also Max mentioned before. But if you like to see what information are in the XML files, we can just check it with, for an example, with those freeware tools. All right, so before we go into the credit memo, I will just close this. Let's jump and see how the XML structure of this this XML file is, and also how we just can configure this XML themes in Business Central. Therefore, we have our themes. So for extended, for Zugwart invoice, or in German X-Rechnung, you have your different standards also in Business Central. With EDS, you receive a standard package from us where you also receive those two German formats. But for an example, every e-standard format can be configurable or can be configured in Business Central. When I open, for an example, my Zugwart scheme. Oh, sorry, wrong. We're going through another way. Sorry, here I have my EDS data dispatch profiles where I can define my different types of what I want to send. For an example, normal invoices, the Zugwart invoices, and something like that. So you can see here the profiles. I will just go into my Zugwart. I go into options, and I can see my defined structure. Just want to quickly show you the knots that I've just mentioned. So everything that we've seen before in the, there it is, and in the XML file, you also have in Business Central. But what do I want to emphasize here? With the EDS, you have the possibility to configure your own standards. For an example, not only the German ones, international, the PEPL one, the also the standard in the Netherlands and France. But the important thing here is you don't have to leave Business Central at all, and you don't have to make development for your standards. So for an example, if you need new information that has to be in this invoice or in this structure, you can just simply configure this in Business Central. And I also want to show you this. If I go for an example in this, not with the header number, I just go into the value. I have here different configurations. You see how freely and dynamic I can configure this in Business Central. And here I have in my sales invoice header my information that I go into this field, and in this field it should take the value, the number of the sales invoice header. But we also have here different possibilities. So if you like to go into different tables that are connected to the sales invoice header, or maybe I can jump to the sales invoice header through specific information, I can make data mappings. So yeah, I can reach different information from different tables, but also code units. If you like to develop a code unit where you receive a specific invoice, or maybe an invoice is an information is being processed, you can just simply choose your own code unit and configure this in this page, so you get this specific value in your XML standard. You see how freely this is configurable, and but you can also not save time, but also you don't have to wait for your for the app. So you don't have to have development costs. You don't have to wait for the development till this specific information reaches your standard. All right. So like I said, very configurable. I will just leave this for now. As you see, also with the dispatch profiles, you can really choose what type of documents and in which way you want to send them. Let's head back to the sales credit memo. Sorry, a posted sales credit memo. And here we want to send a credit memo to our customer School of Fine Art. Also, I mean, now in this credit memo, I can also send this through the fact box to my Outlook. And there we will see another type of XML standard. I will switch back to my Outlook again. There I have my credit memo also sent. Also here, different type of email, a template where I don't have to write any anything. And here we have our X invoice. Also download it once. So I will receive this in a second to my folder. So there it is. Also here I have my credit note and also the same structure, but in different standard. So here are different information that are displayed, but also if you want to see this in human forms, so I will just open my freeware tool and put the XML file into this. We see we have our credit memo for our customer School of Fine Art, but here importantly we have the XML but not the PDF file, right? The PDF is also here embedded in this XML standard. So I go to my attachments and I see here that I have a link. It will open my PDF file. So also if your recipient wants only the XML standard with where the XML file is leading, you can embed your PDF files here in this XML. Right. So this was also the processes of the both German standards, where you can just simply go and send your posted sales invoices and credit memos through the system. I also want to show you the real quick the EDS business partners, how easy it is to define what type of customers can receive those invoices or credit memos. For an example, here I have my customer iDatum corporation with a normal PDF file. On the bottom, you have your dispatch profile defined, and also for trade research, my Zugword, and for the School of Fine Art, my X-invoice credit memo. As you see, very simple and very easy to configure in Business Central. Yeah, this was my live demo part. I will give the word back to Max. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran, for the live demonstration. I've seen one question in the chat, as they have several customers from France, Italy, Serbia, Belgium, etc., that are required e-invoicing beginning in 2023. And yeah, they use to send and receive XML files. Usually a certified access point is used, to which the XML files are sent from Business Central and downloaded by the receiver. An access point is determined in standard Business Central setup tables, such as TradeShift, but in fact, there are hundreds of APs. To work with APs, we usually define the document sending profile, where we select the options document exchange service. Is there a solution to send the XML files, for example, PEPOL, to a certified access point with EDS? Karen, can you give us an answer on this one?
I just also read the question with APs. What is actually access points? Can you define what interface it is? So, for an example, from the EDS dispatch, we have seen that we have different possibilities to send those formats. For an example, the XML file. For an example, the PDF A3 format, where the XML file is embedded. So I just want to know what type of format does those access points want to have.
I've enabled your microphone, so you may talk.
Yeah, thank you. I've noticed it, and sorry for the long question, but
no problem.
We have a couple of certified access points.
Okay.
It's a list of 100 access points recognized by the European authorities, and TradeShift is the most known within Microsoft products. Now, these access points are not email addresses. They're actually, I'm not probably not using the most technical explanation, but it's more like an URL where you're sending the information to. Is there a solution for this, or how is there a configure or a plan how to configure this in EDS to send such things?
With our EDS solution, we are not only able to send normal emails, we also have different output types, which can be, for example, code unit, where you can just configure in a code unit, store this XML file, this PDF, this e-invoice, to this, or send it to this URL, or put it into this repository. There you are freely able to configure this code unit, what should be executed when this file should be sent by email, or should be put in this access point. There we should just do an analysis on how we can access these access points. For example, with our EDS solution, we can also store the documents in on an FTP server. And I guess if we are able to store it on an FTP server, an access point should not be more complicated than that. And if we're able to do that, we should also be able to generate a standard to send our invoices or credit memos or whatever you want to send to these access points certified by the European Union.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. But it's a little customization to create a code unit in that case. Okay.
To create a code unit, it's a little bit of customization, yes. But if you have several customers, we can just create a standard code unit
we have to
that
talk
can be
about
used
this, right?
every time. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk about this because as you see in the EDS, we have standard output types. And for an example, if we have defined email or the download output type or the code unit download type, it is something that we dispatch from Business Central, whatever the interface or the part after the dispatch receives the XML, something like that, have to be processed or has to be being have an own concept of it, and so we can talk about this later on, if it's all right for you.
Yep. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. But also I have an information that I just want to give with the also with the EDS. As you see, we have different types of XML standards, but we also have a validation built in the EDS. So for an example, if you want to be sure that those XML standards, okay, sorry, there's all right, I hope it wasn't too loud. My phone rang. Yeah, but with the EDS, like I said, the validation, you can be sure and safe that those XML files are validated also in Business Central, where we have our different XML standards validated, so you don't have any problems by sending them to those different types of business partners.
Thank you, Kerem, for this and or for this answer. And if you have any more questions regarding our EDS or XSD solution, want to get to know a little bit more about this, feel free to contact us. The contact information is displayed here. Just a little hint, we have one more deep dive webcast coming up next week, same day, same time, on our DPS solution, more exactly on our mobile app, how to access these portals from a mobile app, and how your customers or you as an end customer can provide your own branded app in the App Store, and give your customers as a customized app to use your portal. If you're interested in that, feel free to register for that. And again, thank you for taking the time to have a look at our EDS solution together with XSD. And with that, thank you again. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thanks. Goodbye.